a drainage valve at the bottom of the ship. I said bullshit because nowhere in the blueprint do they show the drainage valve.
And listen, they go so much as to say, I said, well, how did all these people get over here from Africa? From Africa, how did thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of years ago the people, somebody said they walked over during the ice age. I said, when you ever heard of Africa being in ice? That don't even make no sense. They walked over. So, okay, if they walked over when it started getting cold, they start feeling the cold over here. What they wrap themselves in? What did they eat, drink, and all that when they walked over? That don't even make no sense to me. Just like the whole boat ride. Their bodies they'd have been halfway dead by the time they got over here. They'd have been dead. All of them would have probably been dead from the smell and the suffocation of the urine smell and the feces and all of that. It's just would have made you so sick that you would have just died.
You been on a cruise before?
Oh yeah, I just came off a cruise, and
okay. Hold on, slow down. I want to go walk through this cruise for a minute, just to give people some understanding of what it takes to move a mass amount of people. Do you know how many people was on the cruise?
A lot.
The estimate?
I really don't know how many people, but it was hundreds. I do know that.
Okay, let's just say 500 people.
Okay.
Okay, now, do they got a full kitchen on the ship?
Yes.
And they got a full dining room on the ship?
Yes.
Okay. Who was cooking and who was running the mess hall for all these slaves? Who was chaining them and unchaining them for their meals? That's if they was using a modern cruise ship.
But that wasn't back then. They only had wooden boat.
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. They didn't even
have what we have now. You can even look it up when the first ship was even made that ran by like how we have it now. You could look that up. They didn't have that back then.
The numbers don't match.
It does. And if you land on something that hard, try it now. Even when you sitting on like a stool and it's hard wooden, you got to put a cushion or something because it'll start hurting you where you got to move around and it just doesn't work. Your body don't work like that. It'll start breaking down.
Yeah.
It just don't make. I work with people with how bed sores start and all of that.
Yeah, great. Yeah, for sure. Dean, what were you saying? Sorry about that. Come on in, Dean.
I was just saying hello. I just
What's
wanted
up?
to ask.
Hi, Dean.
My question to each one of y'all is how y'all doing?
Fine.
Doing good.
Just sit back and eating the popcorn right now.
Okay, I'm just saying you got to start making sense out of nonsense. It don't make no sense, and it ain't our information. I keep asking them, what did they do with the copper colored people that was on these lands when they came over here and stole the lands? I mean, listen, to a person that undone person, they look at us and they look at us all the same. Just like when we look at them as being all the same. Just like when we look at a Chinese, a Japanese, a Korean, or whatever. To us, they all look the same. We can't tell a difference.
The U.S. Census is a great document to get those answers about what did they do and how they classified or misclassified people. You know what I mean?
The paper genocide not even a secret though.
Talk about how when they look at dark-skinned people.
No, it's not. You're right, right.
Yeah.
It's
because people aren't looking into the history into it at all, because they even have regulations of how many people can be on the ships, when people could be on the ships, how much food has to be on the ship and compared to people, meaning they were limited. And then you would have to know schooners and the ship details and routes to even really go into it. But the major thing is it's just belief. And when people have belief, they don't have to actually back it up with any kind of facts. They don't have to understand ships or anything like that. But Bad Hombre really wants us to address this question. So, Rod, I want to pose it to you. I'm sure you're familiar with the FBA. He's saying, why is FBA doing better than American Indians? Would you say that they are doing better than American Indians at this time?
Who?
FBA. He says, why are FBA doing better than American Indians?
I don't even. I don't know what that is.
Same thing. I was saying the exact same thing.
Asiatics said that other slaves got extra food for cleaning up.
And she
I,
added,
That's
I,
after
I
getting into
seen
the
that. I
store.
started laughing, almost choked.
I didn't know what he said. What he said that
I
for.
knew exactly what Ron Hayes was talking about
I
with the
was
valve and
saying,
throwing down salt water to clean out the bottom. We ain't
but
getting into that or no yoga that they were doing on top of the ship. That's just
they
crazy.
told, but
Therese, you remember Kanye's workout plan on top of the slave ship?
I'm just saying, they talking about walking over
They
from
got extra
Africa.
food. Lord Jesus. I done
It took
heard it
90
all.
days on a ship to come. You talking about walking over from Africa? Oh my God. I'm just saying, what is in our mind?
That's the
That's the
pandemic.
same people. Listen, that's the same people telling you that the man walked on water.
Wait a minute, that's the
Mm.
same way they told us the white people come from
Wait,
black
wait,
people.
wait. Hold
Chinese
up, hold
people
up,
come
hold
from
up.
black tea. Everybody
Rewind.
come from us. Oh my
Wait,
God.
Frida, one more time. Rod, say that one more time. One more
I
time,
said,
Rod.
then the same people that believe the man was walking on some water.
Okay.
You better say
Okay.
it. That is crazy. I mean, it gets so much as when, just like when the brother said, we all started from Africa. Who is we all? I mean, so that means you adding in everybody because you know they got our minds so twisted that they think that nature couldn't make all these different races, that all the races had to come from us. And that we had to come from monkeys and Africa and apes. I mean, we really don't take time to think about the things that people are saying out our mouth, and they could tell us anything, and we will actually fight for the lies that are being told to us. It don't make no sense. But yet we say we believe in nature. It's just crazy to me. These people that don't look like us, don't smell like us, body structure different, hair different, everything different, but yet they come from us. Chinese people are short, you know what I'm saying? They got different, another different type of hair, different body structure. Everything is different about these people, but they all had to come from us. But yet we still look how we look, and they ain't coming from us today.
But you know the only common denominator in all of the people on the planet, right?
Huh?
Do you know the one common denominator in all of the people on the planet?
What is it?
The motherland.
Oh, wow.
Mitochondrial is the only broken direct descendant chain of DNA in the human body from the original people. And only through
I don't
mitochondrial.
know if there is an original people. I think everybody is their original to who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like the Chinese or Japanese or whatever them Asian type people are, they're original to their kind of people. Just like we are original to ours. I think that there are many originals, not just one.
But the
And
motherland,
you would know
the motherland is the only continuous chain of DNA
when you
passed
say the
from mother
motherland,
to
you need to
listen,
explain
passed from mother to daughter.
that. Right.
All of these differences that you speak of is coming through what they call a haplogroup of Y chromosomes. That means all of these different bloodlines of humans, even though they all mitochondrially related, they difference comes in through the Y chromosome.
Okay.
And this is so wherever their daddies came from, all these people ain't got the same daddy.
Why does it take a European to come in to make these
Facts.
discoveries? And then, as a result of making these discoveries, we have this whole theory of everyone came from Africa. We evolved from monkeys and apes, right? No,
That's
I'm
like them
sorry.
saying
I
they
have
know how
questions.
Well,
they
they
know
did
when
have a team that the
bullcrap.
Lewis team. Their team was Ethiopians. The first name wasn't Lucy. I forgot it was some Ethiopian name that they changed
They
changed
changed it.
later to Lucy. But the main thing was is those bones were falsified. That they didn't walk upright. They showed as far as the
I
real
remember
bones,
that.
and it was Lucy was a monkey. That's what
Right.
Lucy,
Right.
and they just falsified the bones because the Royal Society needed that. The Royal Society needed the missing link. So Lewis was struggling money wise, and they were like, we not gonna give you money for a monkey. That's not what we need. We need the missing link. So what they do? Okay, falsify the bones. Say we have the missing link, so
Right.
we can get this Royal Society money.
And they
Because that's
admitted
what
what
they
they
paid
did.
us
They
for.
admitted that they did that. They admitted that they did that.
And as crazy as that
follow
story
money.
sounds, right? And as crazy as this story sounds, the one I just shared, because that's exactly how when they teach about the slave trade, how it was written in history books, right? It's a lot of that Mandela effect that you just mentioned, Rod. It's a lot of the watering down, and when you look at it, you're like, am I reading a novella? Am I reading a fairy tale? Like what? But this is what's being taught. This is what's being
I'm
taught.
just trying to figure out when less than 0.1% of the people was literate, how did all these slaves write narratives?
Okay.
Mm.
That part.
Yeah.
Say it again,
They
Rob.
just say whatever they want to say. But Bad Ombre, I know you're going crazy in the chat. But your question is very subjective. First off, you're saying you're wealthy and you're running circles around people,
Why he
which,
keeps saying that?
which could be true. You could be wealthy, but that doesn't mean you're running circles around people. You would need to know what everybody else is
And
making,
he
what
got time
everybody
to be
else's
on here for
salary
50
is.
hours.
And a lawyer, in comparison to somebody else's salary, might not be as much. You might be actually just doing bare minimum compared to what
Girl, you
someone
know
else is
bad all
doing.
great bullshit. Don't take him.
He's just like, so he can calm down on it because he like, why are we running circles and all this other stuff?
I
Like,
don't know what
I'm
he
glad
keeps
you're
talking
doing
about.
well, but there's a lot of people doing well. That's just the facts of life. We're not
Yeah.
hating.
Can I
People
ask
are
Rod a
doing
question?
well.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. If y'all want to see when the tribe gonna be doing well, just keep watching. It's coming. Cause
Can
we
I ask
back for
Rod?
every fucking thing they owe, and they just so happen to owe us everything.
Yes, they do.
And I was always taught that.
Everybody owe us.
But can I just say something?
Go
I
ahead.
was always taught. I was always taught that a nigga who's, excuse my language. I was always taught that a man who's doing well, they don't say they're doing well. You don't have to say that.
Oh,
I'm just saying
you do not. He do it every time he come on here.
every
I
time.
this, I got
Attention,
that.
because he want attention. Bad Ombre, sit down some damn well.
Okay, that's Big Mama. I tell you, sit down. Can I ask Rod here?
Positive bragging
My,
about
my mama told me class speak for itself. You don't have to argue
Right.
no point. From
That's
when you
right.
standing in, when you really got class, you don't have to argue it. It's gonna
It's
defend
gonna
itself.
show. That's right.
Yeah.
So, ladies, is it okay if I ask Rod another question?
Yes.
So, sir, I think what I want to know is that I know a lot of us have been in this paradigm for a long time. I know some longer than others. I mean, I would consider myself relatively new in this space, but I mean, it's been over a couple of years now. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. My question is, do you think with Trump being in office right now, do you think that we have a good, do you think that this is a good time where we can really push the information that we've been taught about who we are? Because I mean, I don't like when I hear him using African American and different things like that. So do you think that this political climate is ready for the Aboriginal paradigm in terms of the information, in terms of us being true to this land? I mean, in light of all the birthright citizenship things that are going on with that particular executive order, can you kind of speak to that a little bit? Do you think that this could be something that could be heard on a bigger national platform?
Well, they already soft disclosed it. They got different people making mention that the African American is the Indian. Certain senators and already said it out their mouth on in interviews. So they're getting around to it. Now they also recognizing tribes that was formerly not part of the Dawes Commission's recognition that was also part of the paper genocide. And ain't no time better than now for us to let people know who we are. The problem is these unapologetically African ass niggas that don't know they natives. That's the problem. If I don't mind them being African, but when they don't, they if you tell them to go to Africa, they gonna get mad at you. They say they're African, but they don't want to go to Africa. So ain't no time better than now. It's all coming out. And when Trump get done doing the accounting part, then they got to do the transfer of power part, and that's the part where everybody mouth gonna hit the floor.
And
Yeah,
for
thank
this
you.
transfer of power part, Rod, do you think it's important that people amass the documentation, or what do you think that people should really be gathering when they're doing like their genealogy or anything for their benefit and their family benefit?
Everybody should do the best they can, but a lot of us, like for instance, when I get to Magnolia, Mississippi, I can only go back to I think the 1930s before the church that all the records was in was burnt down. So trying to tell a person that's a victim of paper genocide to prove their identity is like trying to tell a dead man to prove who murdered them. But we know who we are from the oral tradition. All of us got somebody in our family that know who we are.
Yes, and that's a fact. And sometimes we let our grandparents live to be 90 something years old and never ask them any questions. Aunties, uncles. I have one aunt now that can tell me some stories because she now in her 90s. You know what I'm saying? Some that still knows stuff. You can't let them go get away now. You gotta kind of like interview them, ask questions. I'm telling you, they can go back afar, but you can look up your stuff too.
Hey, look, when you mentioned take care of the elderly used to get took care of at home.
What you say,
All
Bob?
the elderly used to get took care of at home. All this shipping people out to the old folks' home, that's some
Yeah,
new shit.
they used to. But
Because the teenage boys and girls used to take care of those senior citizens. And then the ones that's still around the house in their early 20s, they was the ones feeding them, you know, learning the history from talking to them. And this is why they poison everybody, giving us Alzheimer's and dementia. They don't want the old people telling the youth, but it's too late now because my big mouth that made sure that the kids got enough to go trace it down, and they coming back with all the receipts that they got more receipts than I got.
I'll be influencing people to look at some channels, that's gonna tell them the truth. Like once we start talking to them, that's why I try to talk to people every day, especially about because there's people who really think that they're African, but you're just not. But if that's what you're going to believe, I can't. Well, yeah, some of them might have some. I can't say all of them, but I always try to give the information that I know to try to make sense out of nonsense. And you know what they say to me? I never even heard it. I never even thought about that. I never. You know what? I'm trying to. And then they'll bring up some people who with the doctor in front of their names. I said, but they only going by what somebody told them to. They don't have no proof of it.
I have yet to find a firsthand account of a historical event.
Ugh, I don't
All
even.
all of the historical events is somebody telling the story after the fact. It's
Yes.
hardly any history would say, yeah, while I was sitting in the room with Abraham Lincoln, he was telling me. They don't have any of those. They don't have no first-hand accounts of history. All history is second and third-hand accounts referenced by fourth and fifth-hand, repeated by fifth and sixth-hand. No first-hand accounts. Everything is, even if you take the New Testament of the Bible, the first four books, wasn't one of them written during the lifetime of this guy that they calling Jesus. According to the scholars that put the information out, they know that all this information was written 100 or more years later. But they telling the story like they was actually there.
Yeah. But that goes to show you the minds of our people too, that they will believe in something that they can't see. And then a man in the sky got a girl pregnant. It's just we got to really start thinking, start opening our minds and start thinking. And we don't do that.
Well, I don't know about no man in the sky, but a girl can get herself pregnant if she wants to.
No, but I'm just saying though, we really believe in this man in the sky that send these angels down and then got this little young girl pregnant. But listen, here's the part that God, you're not supposed to believe in was it when you married and messing with another man or whatever, but yet God can get Joseph's wife pregnant. That just, I just say we not even thinking.
But Rob, we were doing
And
so good. Yeah, she could get herself pregnant if she steal your sperm and got a turkey baster.
then,
No, seriously, parthenogenesis is not a fiction.
oh
It's an
yeah, I
actual
knew you
thing.
were gonna go there with it, Dulcie. Yeah, we're talking now.
But
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it could have been a thing before, but you're saying in recent times that that's still a thing that can happen, and
Well,
not from like a hermaphrodite that has both or something.
no, the women have all of the equipment to spark spontaneous um mitosis in the cell. She got everything she needs to make a baby without a man. The problem
they probably she
is,
probably has
is
two sexes
as
actually.
long as you don't know that, and then the woman so out cold, and this is why these dudes be hating women so bad. The woman so out cold, she been had 50 sex partners. 51, she get pregnant, and she use genetic material from 50 niggas before him, and don't use none of his to make the baby.
So she
No,
stockpiling the cum. I mean, sorry, she stockpiling it.
it's
What?
yeah,
Where is it stored? So you can store it somewhere?
in the queen's chamber of the brain stores all genetic material of every man she ever been with.
Mm.
I've heard of a woman getting pregnant, and she like the sperm stayed in her because a woman can have a baby by two people.
What
She can
about the
have
ones
Right.
that I
That's
don't
very
want to
rare.
inside
remember?
It's
of
like
her. So
1%, but yeah, I know that.
I'm just saying, I don't know if it's 1% or half a percent. I just know it can be done, and she could have two men's babies inside of her, and she had sex with the other guy like a week before time.
Right. Because why it's so rare is because usually you're like being pregnant is usually like a birth control, like your body says that. So your
Right.
body, if it doesn't produce twins or triplets or whatever right away, then it's like
Mhm.
I'm pregnant already. We'll need to do that. But yes, there are times that that doesn't work. That mechanism that whatever stops that, and she can be pregnant by two different men if she's sleeping around. But I don't know, Rod, about themselves and tapping into your brain. So, say I wanted to get pregnant by myself. I light some candles, and then what do I do next?
I don't know. They was saying something about some gland that we had back when we were maybe stronger women. I think we had at one time it was two sexes in one body. So you had the ability to get pregnant, I guess, because
It's there's
they
still
had
a
to break
couple of
off
species of
the
animal on the
sperm.
earth that don't have no males.
Huh?
There's still a couple of species of animal on the earth that don't have any males.
I mean, I don't
But
know
we
how
do
it happened,
though.
but I know it's been an
So,
argument about it.
how do we?
We
How
can
would
pull it
we?
up.
Now that we have males, because we have that, and you guys have the sperm, like, isn't that
That's
like
what
mandatory now?
hermaphrodites that got
No,
both sexes. Hermaphrodites, and
Yeah,
once
I get that. I said I
yeah,
brought that and with having both sexes, but he's saying just a woman can without a man. But it's like, how is sperm not necessary? Because sperm is what you need
sperm is
for.
what a man need to give a woman in order for her to reproduce him, but it ain't what she need to reproduce her.
okay. Now that might be something that we might have to look into.
So if so, a woman can reproduce herself without sperm.
Yeah,
I mean, I think at one time they were talking about that was
it's
able to.
parthenogenesis. It's not even a
Move the baby
foreign
girl.
concept in genetics that parthenogenesis takes place. In order for it to be impossible, it won't be found nowhere in nature. In order for it to be possible, All you got to do is find it anywhere in nature. If it's anywhere in nature, it's possible.
Ben Saint said, I would be mad if I could get myself pregnant just by thinking about it. I would be
Yeah,
mad too.
and
I
I
would be
know
mad too.
parthenogenesis and different, but I think every different species can do different things. I think it's biggest amongst plants, right? Or it might be at biggest amongst bacteria. One of
See
those.
animals, I think too.
Yeah, sea animals, but I think it can sea animals can be like reverse, where the male is the one that gets pregnant and the
Well,
woman.
they can change gender. The if you get a school of all female fish, the most dominant female fish will spontaneously turn into a male. That's different.
But you're saying if any animal can do it, a human can do it, or we can do it.
But we
The,
are a
the
form of
possibility is present.
very yes, it is. I mean, I know you're not shocked that I done seen some things that has shocked me. They find it even in the sea now.
I've never seen a woman get herself pregnant.
Well,
I've
no,
seen her
I mean,
say it.
have you ever heard of a
I've
woman
seen her
that
say
done
it ain't
been
nobody else
amputee?
but yours, and
But listen, have you
the
ever heard of a
DNA
woman
says
that
it's not. And then
keep
she's
on?
like, "Well, I ain't been with nobody else. I'm
Yeah, but
sure
have
they
you ever
gonna
heard
bring
of
up
a
this
woman that
fried
keep
egg."
testing every man she been with, and none of them is the baby father? None of
Because
them.
they
Everybody.
didn't test every man that she's been with, then
I
because they
don't
haven't
know.
got to every
I
man that
know.
she's been with.
I don't know. But when she was, I know one girl that was going all the way back. She couldn't figure out who in the heck she got pregnant by. Everybody
So
she
that means
took.
she was busting it wide open. Like
I don't know. Come
she
on,
don't
dog.
remember all her sexual partners.
I
That's, I
don't know
mean,
about that.
But you
no,
got to
no.
also remember, she also got the capability of one of them getting her pregnant, and she don't use none of his genetic material.
I don't know. I'm not
Well,
shocked.
this conversation is above my pay grade, but I know, Rod,
Okay.
you went, wait, hold on. But I know, Rod, when you talk about storing the memory of the men, of a woman storing the memory of all the men that she's been with, let me just tell you, most women, we don't want to remember. Some of them do not deserve any recollection or memory. I know nobody would have stored them. Okay, I'm just saying. That's all I got to
He
She's
say
was
about
out
that.
there black
she's
out.
Hey,
storing all the
hey,
DNA,
if
all the
she bust
DNA,
that thing open and he squirted in there, she got his DNA.
all the DNA,
Very unfortunate.
and she's just
Ladies, keep
holding
them
it.
legs closed. Okay.
Yes.
That's
Because
what
I
the
mean,
value of the virgin was, because the only way that you could guarantee it with your baby is to keep all other men away. That's what
mm,
the whole big hoopla about a virgin is. Otherwise, it won't matter. But you can't be sure if she had a sex partner 10 years ago, then she get pregnant by you, she gonna use all of your genetic material. She
but
might
I
use
was
some of yours and some of his.
but what if she had the sperm still in her? Because like I was saying,
If the sperm
some
don't, it ain't the sperm, it's the coding of the DNA that she saves. It's the
That'll be
DNA
fascinating.
codes that his body's signature leaves with her. The mitochondria records all DNA activity in order to adjust for defects in order to correct the genome.
Mhm.
Ladies, that's right. Close them legs. Hey, Two Grand. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Shout out to the panel. Shout out
How
to
you
you,
doing,
ladies.
Two
Shout out to
Grand? How
Rod.
you doing?
It's some love.
I'm good. I'm good. Y'all always coming with some fire discussions. I want to give a shout out as well to Rod Hayes. My man always spitting some knowledge. Now, I like what y'all talking about. This parthenogenesis is really something that I ran into as well. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. From the research I did, it's bone marrow, which is it's crazy because they say it's only found in the black woman, right? That has the ability to secrete semen through, I think it's the part. Hold on a second. The parthenium gland is through one of the ducts. So I
Mhm.
kind of went in on it when I found out, but this is definitely something that was done way back when, right? This is look, man. We all know they lied to us, right? So definitely this is something that our sisters was able to do back in the day. Now this is coming from a man. I had to put my ego aside to be able to be able to say this now. So you know what I mean. This was definitely something that our women was able to do back in the day, and that got to be respected.
Do you think they can still do it today, Two Grand?
No, I don't think it can be done today. There has been too many changes along the generations where we're not like we used to be. We're not even breathing the same oxygen as we used to, from what I've come to find out. You know what
Yeah,
I
we
mean? The
used to
earth.
breathe straight ozone, double
e-
oxygen molecule.
Exactly. My man Rod Hayes, he's been spitting this stuff for years, and he always tells you, right, don't just listen to him, like go research it, right? And every time I hear something, I go back and I'll try to debunk it. And nah, back in the day, the air was different. Plants even growed back in the day. When they talk about Eden, it was truly here before we started to mess around with things. We truly had it good out here before we started messing with things. You know what I mean?
You was the outsiders.
I have a
So,
question. I have a
so
question because science is not my forte, so I'm just curious. But like, would cloning, or something like stem cells and cloning be an example of parthogenesis?
It's another name for it is spontaneous clone.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they tell you that you gave birth to your twin if you have a parthenogenic birth. They'll tell you you birthed your twin that was in your uterus waiting to continue its gestation and try to act like poof, it just popped there. You 30 years old, you just had this baby, and you ain't been with a man since you was 22, and you wonder how you got pregnant, and they're gonna tell you, oh, you just birthing your twin.
Mm,
It was lodged in your uterus from childhood, and it decided to wake up when you turned 30.
mm.
Ta-da!
yeah, and stem cells are important to them because we all know they decide to hold on to that placenta after a woman has a baby, and there's a reason for that. They all up in there for them stem cells, right?
Mm.
Not only
That
that, that's the doppelganger for the capturing of the soul of the birth certificate.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy right there.
That's your double. Every
Yeah.
every birth is a twin birth under the Admiralty.
Wow.
I wanted to ask Dulcinea something real quick.
you see it on the screen, Rod? Since a
Mm-hmm.
woman, when we're talking about parthogenesis, since a woman can have a baby by herself, is it possible that some of these witches are having babies, pure bloodline witches and wizards offspring?
Mm,
That's totally possible. I wouldn't rule it out.
a lot of
I
stuff.
wouldn't rule it out because when you get into the higher cult, it started teaching you how to access parts of your anatomical being that you don't even know you can do.
Right.
They used to do exhibits and they used to call them jugglers a long time ago in India, where the monks are going in the hills and pick up some exotic skill that you can do with the body that nobody ever thought about. And then they come down for the people and let them see, and they call them jugglers. This would be for the circus. So they know it's a lot of people that's high functioning witches and warlocks. Well, warlock is a misnomer. It's really witches and wizards, male and female, and they have certain capabilities that regular people will never have the ambition to develop, let alone even be aware of that their body can do. This is where you get your contortionist from, because everything that we do with the body, we have to train the body to perform. And through the training process, you is required for you to use a great amount of willpower to develop the type of physique for the function that you want it to perform. But you got to have what's called the base material. So a person that's built like let's say a beer drinking couch potato, is he not gonna never be a contortionist. He's not gonna never have because his body has developed outside of that reality. He'll become more flexible, but he'll never become a contortionist. For one, his fat ass stomach gonna get in the way. But for the ones they start them out, they normally start them out as babies. And when they start them out as babies, you can mold the body to do stuff that once you get 6, 7, 8 years old, they won't be able to do no more. That's why gymnasts like to start at 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, because what they put their body through, my goodness, you have to break bones in order to be so flexible. That is commitment. Ballerinas too.
And I'm saying for the record, I have went back to 2017, and Wendy looked.
Yeah, I'm talking about 1999. I put it in the bag. Look at.
Why are we still talking about Wendy Williams?
I just happened to look on there. I don't know about that.
Yes, why are we talking about Wendy?
Because I wanted to. Y'all not
she looking like a man.
I just wanted to show you, Sister Freedom. That was for you, Sister Freedom, just to say what I was saying.
I'm just saying that he gonna say,
y'all gonna leave Wendy alone.
He sounded like he the type of person in the house. Like what? Like now listen to you. His voice was like stern.
I used to like Wendy Williams. Y'all
gonna leave her alone.
Laughing about it.
She was exposing the Diddy before.
Yes. I'll give you that.
Exposing all that.
I'll give you that. She was the first one talking about it. I'll give you that. And this goes way back too.
The first one talking about what? I'm sorry,
Diddy and his parties.
Oh, what? Now, you know what? I don't like this.
Gay
let me say this though. Let me say this though. Let me say this though. Why we do that? If they want to say something about Diddy, because Diddy been having these parties since why we gotta say something too? I mean, every time the undone man go on one of ours, we jump right on the wagon with him. We wasn't saying nothing before, but we wasn't saying nothing before that to make no big
were. No. That's not true. I don't think that's not true. That's not true.
It went crazy once they start saying.
No. I think I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Freedom. But I do think, and this is where you and I always have this difference, right? I always tell you, just because somebody have melanin, don't make them one of ours. You understand? That just because a person is skin folk, don't make them kin folk, as the saying goes. Just because a person has hold on. Just because a person has melanin, that don't make them one of ours. That doesn't mean that they need protection. That I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Demons come in all form, shape, colors. Just because they have melanin don't make them one of ours. And I think that's the sometimes that's like the biggest aha people got to come to grips with, because we assume.
And the thing too, we didn't know.
I got it.
No, I think you missed it. What I'm trying to say is, this man been having these parties like all the rest of them. Been having these parties since parties began, and when the people at the party, they want to be there. The people that he was messing with wanted him to mess with them, because you ain't got to do what he wanted you to do. Okay.
Yeah, but then we didn't know it was all connected. We didn't know it was all connected.
We always our own worst enemies about. So soon as somebody else starts saying something about one of us, I'm not saying what he did with. Let me make sure I be clear on that. Right. I'm not saying anything that he did was correct. What I'm saying is, wasn't nobody, one of us, like making no big deal about it.
But that's not true. Freedom.
That's not
just
true.
Because you're not aware, people had already turned on him when Biggie's mom exposed him. We knew he killed Biggie. Like what? People were already talking about.
A lot of people turned their back. And plus,
allegedly for the thing. So you can't say that, because it was us. It was people that looked like us that were exposing that. No white people were like, "Oh, Diddy killed Biggie" or anything. It was us that were like, "We don't like Diddy." Biggie's mom was like, "He's a fraud. He's doing all this stuff undercover. He did that to take the money." So it doesn't matter. You just said that no one was against him that looked like us. Now you're talking about he wasn't in jail.
I'm gonna tell you what I said and why I'm saying it.
we were against him then because we saw the conspiracy against him with the whole, and there were people that, of course, they'd be like, oh, we love Diddy still or anything, but there was a big group of people that was against Diddy and been wanting Diddy to go under when we saw that and believed the conspiracy that he had something to do with Biggie's death.
Okay, something to do, and we knew. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just saying, now that Diddy is locked up, now that R. Kelly is locked up, now that when Bill Cosby was locked up, we really wasn't saying too much about it. That was making a big stink about it all through the.
That's not true. That's not
That's
true,
a
though.
not you. We talking
All right,
about
maybe
Diddy.
I live in
You just
Delaware.
brought up Cosby.
Yeah, Delaware.
Cosby.
I could see Delaware not saying
Yeah,
much.
that's not true.
But
No,
we
when I
were
say that,
seeing
as
R.
the
Kelly
saying is-
outside of the middle school, waiting on girls. Like, what is wrong with him? We were pissed about Aaliyah. Like, so maybe it's a Delaware thing. But that was so messed up about Aaliyah, and we didn't like him. We didn't like her mama. We didn't like her daddy. We didn't like her uncle. We were pissed off about Aaliyah. Aaliyah
I
was 12 when Aaliyah was
wasn't.
starting to be taught over there. I get it. I'm saying I get it. Delaware wasn't upset. I'm
No,
telling you
I was
that
living on
people
that
were
city then.
upset.
So
There
I'm
were
just saying.
many people that were upset. Just Delaware wasn't.
No, I don't know why you making that a point, and please don't do that. What I'm saying when I said something about Delaware, I was just being sarcastic. What I'm saying is we just skip it because I know what I'm.
Yeah, let's skip it. Let's skip. Let's move on,
Let's
y'all.
skip it.
Rod sleep. Rod, you sleep.
Because I don't know how we
I
got
don't
here.
sleep. I rest though, but I ain't resting right now.
I'm just saying.
Somebody
Well,
sound like
it's
they.
going on 1 a.m, y'all. Actually, it's going on 1 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning.
we always jumping on the wagon,
Yo, Rod, I got a quick question.
but wasn't on the wagon before. Might
Go
have
ahead.
said,
What's your question?
We were on the wagon.
no,
with
you
you.
weren't.
What's
No,
your
you
take?
weren't. No, you
Dean
weren't.
has a question.
You say nothing about those people until they.
Dean has a question. Go ahead, Dean.
What's your take on Canada and his position and Trump's position on Canada? Where you see that going?
Liquidating the corporation, Canada is part of it. America and Canada has the same QSIP number. It's the same corporation that owns both of them. So when you liquidate one, it's going to automatically liquidate the other one. So what he's telling you is that this is one landmass.
Yep.
One landmass that we was already on before they came. Before the tribes get it back, they got to tear down the corporation. The republic got to give it back to the tribal government, continuity of government, and returning of everything back to the people.
They also going after Greenland. And if y'all didn't know, the headquarters of the CIA is up in Greenland. So they trying to get to Greenland just for that too.
Well, Greenland was part of Turtle Island too.
Oh,
It's just not commonly talked about or known, but it was the closest of our bodies of land to Europe.
I asked that question because what I do really, everybody's sweating when it comes to the banking system. Right now in Canada, in Toronto alone, we're about to go on record of the most renewals for mortgages right now ever in the history.
Unbelievable.
And they're sweating right now because everybody's renewal is not going down, it's going up. And they can't afford it. And I'm telling you firsthand, because I talk to people every single day about their homes and their wallets and their largest investment. And people are
yeah, I'm also in financing. I know what you mean, bro.
They're about to lose their homes and they have to downsize. And just before in 2020 and 2022, people started buying homes. Now it's renewal time and they can't afford it.
They're
going to have to sell their homes and they're going to have to downside. But there's a lot of people right now in delinquency. There's a lot of stagnant homes that are not moving because a lot of people who are wanting to buy homes are not making any movements because they're like, I don't know. And there's this complete uncertainty. And
Yeah,
people,
because look at what happened
there's a
to
lot
the
of people
home
about to be out
insurance.
of jobs up here,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of people about to be, unfortunately, out of their homes.
Yeah,
and it's cold. It's real cold. And
Do you see
and
Canada becoming a state?
I'm with whatever. I don't really care. I'm down with it. I said I
Yes,
never really saw
they
line
don't have a
anyways.
they don't
I'm
have a
indigenous.
choice.
Like to me, it's like it just needs to go back to the rightful people. Like, you know what I mean? And we're the rightful keepers of this land, this whole Turtle Island, right from South America up. We're the ones who are talking about this. We're doing this. We're doing the homework. We're the rejects. We know who we are. We're unapologetically not African. We know that. It's clear as day. Our phenotype's not the same. Our energy is not
thank
the same.
you.
We don't move the same. Our energy is not the same. Why do we do carnival the same? We jump up. We have the same feathers, the same. It's the same shit. We do the same thing. It's in our DNA. It's being expressed all the time, and we can't see it. The ignorant
Yeah,
ones in
but
our family are
the
still
only thing,
stuck. They're still
but the
stuck
only
in that white Jesus shit. I don't even go there with them. I'm not even trying to convince them. I leave that shit alone because I know that's a mental health, and I leave that shit alone because you know why? They will slap you in your face. I've always been the reject. I've always been crazy, and I accept it. I must be crazy in this fucking bullshit world. Like, who doesn't see that? Right? You got to understand that. That's why I don't fight with people to educate people who want to be stuck. And unfortunately, our people are really stuck. And they got to go to the bullshit. If they want to understand YT people, they need to just understand. Start looking at the Cabbage Patch. And a lot of the white people ain't European that we see.
Right.
The Europeans that did this look just like us. And you need to understand that. Kendrick even had to tell you that. They look like they're not like us. I've been telling you that for how many years? It flipped our head every time we found out there was a whole bunch of people that were doing some trauma to us that look just like us. Their phenotype's a little off. Their energy is definitely off. But they were doing all this trauma to us.
I told you the most traumatic thing I ever learned in all of my studies is that the white man ain't even white.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking about hurt feelings, talking about having a real bad attitude about something. I thought we was gonna have a party and kill Whitey, and I come to find out Whitey ain't even white. I got all the way up there to bop the man, and he looked like me.
Yeah. That's a hard one. And we know we're not. I'm African. I love Africans. We probably got Africans in our family. But when the people over here and the indigenous people need to understand, we probably have more European, Black European in us than we do have African. That's what you need to accept too. Because they married right into our families.
And that's how they were stealing our stuff. Because our women would never give up no land. None of the chiefs from here would give up land. And the only way to do it is a sweetheart swindle.
All right, my screen.
About to roll the video.
The videos. I think I only had 2 videos, and they were gonna be talking about them getting. Now I can ask you the questions. We got about 20 minutes. Well, we're gonna take questions from the crowd. Well, we'll take questions from the crowd. Drop your. I'm gonna ask the first question, but hey, the crowd, if you got any questions, based on what we did tonight, or any other questions, drop it in the chat, and then we'll go from there. Now, Rod, this is what I wanted to ask. Now, do you think we take as Nubians, knowing that our hair is antennas and being that who we are with hair, do you think we take our hair serious enough? Like some people don't give it that. Like me, I brush my hair, I put wave, I do the waves with the wave cap and everything. But a lot of people don't take care of their hair. Like if it's an antenna, if it's really an antenna and you ain't taking care of that joint, you can have bad signal. So what's your thought on that, bro?
Okay, remember in 80s, late 80s, especially going into the early 90s, you had all these exotic haircut styles that barbers would do. You had the high top fade, the Gumby left, Gumby right.
Yeah.
right? Asymmetrical hairstyles for women,
Yeah.
geometry and hairstyling.
Yeah.
The reason all this is because your hair expression is derived from the energy you channeling in your natural human nature, following the order in nature, changes the hair to reflect the energy that you feel because it's a message given to the rest of the species,
Mm-hmm.
to other humans, right? So when you keep your hair in different styles, it tells the content of what you're feeling, what you're going through,
Right.
right? Yours right now, judging by your haircut and your appearance, clean shave, right? You feel self confident and ready to put yourself out for scrutiny. You confident, you, you feel confident enough to take in whatever come because you in your energy, you in your field. My hair, on the other hand, say whatever this sucker going through, he all over the place,
Hello,
right?
bro.
Now, why would a chief allow himself to be all over the place, and why do he need to express the energy of being all over the place to the general public?
You really playing.
Now, if you drawing from multiple dimensions, different pieces of information, in order to bring it into the current realm, you all over the place, literally. So when the people see that and they see you can competently describe it, it makes them understand that being all over the place is not necessarily a bad thing,
Hmm.
but to be aware of why you all over the place and what you're doing, right? Expressed in appearance, wise words being spoken, the gray beard,
Mm-hmm.
right? The knowledge is still intellectual, less gray hairs on the top, right?
Uh-huh.
So now, because the words of wisdom can be spoken, thus says the beard. The intelligence that's been gathered can be disseminated to more people through the lenses of wisdom. So now you work in left brain, right brain in order to pass the message on subconsciously through the physical appearance, right?
Right.
And when you fold your arms as you intently listen, it's locking the energy, you bear hugging, meaning that you holding on to the code.
Hey, Rod, what you think about what you think about women or anybody and weave to, like you already said you on your perspective on like whatever people do is their own business kind of move to that fact. But do you think like the putting somebody else's hair with your hair would add a different energy? Like say if you got like a certain type of energy and then you get this person's hair that had a whole nother energy, you add it to your hair, would that add to your energy? Go ahead.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
but you see, if you don't know where the hair coming from and why they cutting their hair, then you have no knowledge of what energy coming in. And the only way you can use it to your advantage at that point is to be a natural born chaos magician.
Hmm. Interesting.
Because when you put other people's energy in like that, everything they went through is in their hair. If they cut their hair, they cut it for a reason. If it was financially, everything they went through was from a poverty position.
Right?
If that's the cause. If it was ritual, that means that whatever they lived through is being kept and pent up in the hair. We used to make our own wigs. Now we rely on foreign nations to send us foreign hair,
India.
right? Remember, the original hair extensions was made out of sheep, goat, and over here It was also made out of like the tail of the horse, the mane of the horse.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. This is why we call it horsehair anyway.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Right. And sometimes the daughter of Big Mama, the big matriarch, she wear a long ponytail because she's indicating her rank. But sometimes her hair don't grow long enough, fast enough. So Big Mama say, "You go cut that ponytail off, and we gonna make it into your ponytail."
Uh-huh.
So they go out there. They send one of them uncles out there to cut the hair off the horse tail, so that Big Mama can make baby girl um her ponytail. That's on the quarter horse. On the flip, that's 3 up, 1 down. Make it look like you skate. It's an old cowboy terminology to spread the word, like Thunderbird. Who
Say,
got
Rod. Oh, go ahead. I thought you was finished.
Go ahead, I'm done.
Hey, so when they, I looked it up, and the Indians they do it as a ritual when they want to get right with their God and clean their sin. They shave their hair bald, right? It's like a part of a ritual over in India. That's how they be getting most of the hair. Now, so when they get the hair, could they do like a yabba dabba do or abracadabra over the hair to cleanse the energy? Put some do some sage over it or something. Some of it gonna feel weird, whether we say it or not. But so is it something they can do to cleanse the energy of it? Go ahead.
Yeah. Anything that you use that is an energy carrier, that's whether it's a stone or whether it's a dagger or a necklace or a ring or crown, whatever.
Yeah.
When you first get it to cleanse it, you should automatically have you like a table set out with like rock salt. You sit the item on the salt, right? And then you put it where both the sun and the moon can hit it. And you leave it there until you feel like it's okay to move it, because you will sense it as it's cleansing. Every time you walk past, it'll be like you walking past a quiet washer. Right? You can lay the packs of hair out like that. Right? You can expose them to green light. The green light is the frequency of love, which neutralizes none of the negative energy can stay under the green light. It has to flee. It's like the Moors say, when the truth on the manifest, falsehood flee. Right? So when you understand that you're using anything of somebody else's energy, you should automatically have a protocol of energy cleansing as part of your natural lifestyle.
Right. Right.
But that was taken from us with our voodoo culture, or what they call voodoo culture. That was our natural sciences, where Big Mama used to always teach all of the kids how to cleanse the gifts given to them so people can't use magic on them.
Yeah, that happened down south a lot, Louisiana.
Yeah. They got salt pails at all of the old farms. It used to be a salt pail. They're going to bury something in that salt pail to cleanse it. But you want to expose it to the sunlight and the moonlight because you want to charge it with both energies. If it's gold, especially the sunlight. If it's silver, especially the moonlight, because it's deriving from source power. Right? So you got to know the science and the magic that come with the color of the light. Because you allowed to use replicas when the original can't be found, to use a suitable replacement is and the nearest facsimile of the actual thing. So when you're using your energy cleansing, you don't have to have the actual sun. You can use a light bulb that glows yellow, right? If you need to use the red energy of Mars, you can use the red light when you charging war implements for power. So it's like having a where the barbers clean their clippers with the blue light and the purple light, right? You could change the color of the bulb in order to change the frequency that you charging something with. But the salt gun ground it out, right? So you leave it on the salt, and then you charge it up with the element that is most powerful. Is depending on what it is. But if it's like stones, you use the sun and the moon to charge it, right?
Now, can you
But
use can they use elements? Because I noticed that in the class they used to teach us that when you combine that with an element like water, fire, or earth, like dirt, right? Can they use
mhm,
dirt? So what is that good to add like another power? Because I used to charge my crystals with the sunlight and the ground, with the dirt, earth and the sunlight and water.
you can do that. You can use water too,
Uh
right? Sometimes you can put stones in water and sit them out in the sun, and the water is going to take a couple drops of it and freeze it. The water going to tell you what the energy is. Wait a couple days, freeze it again, and you'll see the change in the energy by the form the water takes.
Yeah, I seen that before. I seen that before. Now this next question says all right, that's another one. It says now somebody said something about like rocking hats. Do you think because I know a lot of guys that rocked a lot of hats when they was like in their mid age, they got bald spots in the middle now. Like my brother, he rocked a lot of hats. Like me, I rock the kufi a lot, but I really have I go outside and let the sun hit that part of my head. Why you think it could be a trait too that when people go bald right there in the at the early age they go bald. But do you think that's from wearing a lot of hats? I know the guys that wear a lot of hats, they get bald right there in the middle.
Bald spot in the middle is a mother line, mother to son trait. It's passed on the mitochondria. They, they probably have a past life habit of wearing hats most of their life to cover their bald spot. So when they incarnate in this life, when they're young, they just naturally drawn to wearing the hat. But they still had to have the trait in order to lose the hair. Because you have some of them that might come in with the memory but don't got the trait, and they still wear hats and got all their hair.
Yeah, I've seen it too. Cause I wear a lot of hats, but I wear kufis a lot though. So